The question was whether or not había Liga. Hay Liga. With now not 6 but 5 match days left to play. And Real Madrid said, nah. The hwites said, no. Take it. It's yours. Real Madrid went down south to Andalusia to face Real Betis Balompié. And throughout the 90 minutes, it looked like the hwites were going to pick up 3 points. However, at the very last minute, it was Bellerin of all people that said, hold up, wait a minute, let me get funky with it. Let me do my old team a solid, and let me bang in a golazo to level out the score and let the hwites leave with 1 point. 1 point, which I think was deserved. But we're going to get into it. This is DSpot for Churros. Exclusive content coming for that ass. We got a few questions as well to answer. So without any further ado, let's get into the thick of things. Let's discuss what happened last night at the Benito Villamarin, and as well what is going on right now. As you probably hear in the background, the commentator Carlos Martinez alongside of Maldini and ¿cómo se llama el otro? Benito. I forget his name. You know who I'm talking about. We are watching Getafe Barça Live. It is the 66th minute and 67th minute, and Barça's winning by a 0-0. You guys ready? I know you've been waiting for this. Let's get into it. This is DSpot for Churros. Vamos. Yes. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hey! Oh, I thought that was in. Fermin nearly netting a brace. It was Fermin that put Barça up by a 0-0 in the first half after an absolute beauty of a pass of Pedri, and now just almost not an identical play, but Pedri setting up Fermin, who put in a very valiant digno solo effort, but that David Soria kept out of the back of the net. Guys, folks, welcome to DSpot for Churros. And hey, I honestly thought that Madrid was going to walk away with the 3 points. I had a watchful eye, I should say, on the game. Had some friends over. It is my son's birthday. In fact, it's his birthday party right now. Big shout out to my lovely wife for allowing me to stay holding it down here at home and record this churro session for you guys while she is at the birthday party. Last night, we had some friends over, though, for, let's say, a pre-party. And, of course, I have to entertain the guests. I can't be rude, but I did have the game on. And like I said, one watchful eye was vigilando, making sure what was taking place. And quite frankly, it almost felt like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it does kind of feel like at this point in time, Real Madrid have given up on LaLiga hopes and are more interested in reserving their legs and energy for the upcoming World Cup that will take place in Mexico, Canada, y Estados Unidos. That's what it felt like for me. It kind of felt like it didn't feel like Real Madrid was really, truly playing with the conviction that you would expect of a team that is trailing by 9 points, 8 now, of course. And, or no, not 8 now. I mean, if Barça continue to hold on to this 1-0 lead, but you know what I'm saying. And yes, they went up by a 0-0, but it just felt like the players, with a few exceptions, the exceptions of the goalkeeper. I thought LAMINE was good. I thought Valverde was good. And by good, I mean playing with intensity. But other than them two, and even Vinny, I thought Vinny had his moments as well, quite frankly, for somebody that gets a lot of slack and heat from the Madridista fan base. I thought that Vinny played try to do at least his part to get his team in contention of picking up the 3 points and holding on to the 3 points, I should say. But other than him, it doesn't really feel like anybody else is believing that there is a chance that they could close the gap and even, who knows, take over of Barça in first place, of course. Right now, el líder, los Blaugrana, it looked like, they're obviously in the front seat, in the driver's seat, and in cruise control, if you will. This game in the Coloseo that I was somewhat fearful of, quite frankly. I mean, I never trust the game against Bordalas over in, ¿cómo se llama este sitio? El Coloseo, ¿no? El Alfonso Pérez. Getafe's home ground. We know it's always tough. It has been historically, and we still have to play in El Sadar, but against Osasuna next week, which, again, those are difficult grounds to pick up points in. But it felt like last night Madrid was just not interested really in the game against Real Betis Balompié, and they had enough with the 1-0 win. Now, I know that there was a lot of controversy as well, but I think if you're a Madridista, you look at what happened last night, you feel like the draw is a fair result, quite frankly. And I know there was a handball claim. I heard Arbeloa El Cono, a.k.a. El Cono, cry about it in the post-match press conference. Obviously, Dani Olmo close 2-0. Real Madrid TV asked Marca making a meal out of the handball that took place at nearing the end of the game, completely ignoring, of course, the handball by Brahim after what was like 2 minutes of play. We hardly even saw a repeat of it. We didn't see any replays of that. In fact, I didn't even see it on the night. I had to see it on Twitter. A clear handball by Brahim where the referee is max 1.5 meters distance away from the Madrid player who, makes does this. Whereas I forget the Real Betis player that committed the handball offense, but it looked a lot like the Tchouaméni in the Clásico, where his hand is in a neutral position. He doesn't make any sort of strange movement to block the shot, and the no penalty was called. I don't have a problem with that. If Getafe nearly the equalizer, Pau Cubarsí there to the rescue. Jesus, get off the notorious for squeezing boss. Ay. Hey, the Getafe fans are putting up middle fingers. What happened here? Excuse me. Yeah, this is going to be... Oh, no, that's Pau Cubarsí. That's heroics, man. The Getafe fans obviously frustrated by Pau Cubarsí's heroic effort to keep that one from being in a shot on goal. But to go back to the game between Betis and Real Madrid, yeah, your lot look checked out, guys. You like I said, it just doesn't feel like they have the conviction, the belief that they can still make a serious run for the La Liga title. And we'll see what happens in the Clásico, of course. A Clásico that might be... Oh, here's Rashford on the breakaway. It's 1-on-1. Rashford to Davis on the attitude. Marcus Rashford putting this one to bed, folks. In the 74th minute, Marcus Rashford, after an absolute beauty of a pass from the back. I think that's Pau Cubarsí that sets up the Englishman as well. Wow. Take a moment to enjoy. For the one or two culés.
Le va ralentizando, se coloca en el lado correcto y resuelve la salida de David Soria para marcar el segundo. Y ahora sí poner la tranquilidad al menos en el pecho de Hansi Flick.
Bueno, yo ya estaba diciendo que bien lo hizo porque ese primer toque es
wow.
clave.
I don't know who passes it out from the back.
De la jugada completa, fíjate las vigilancias.
Es Lewandowski.
Sí. Que Yené al pensar que puede intervenir.
Lewandowski chipping that one over Yené.
Rashford, que la clave es cómo se cruza por delante en esos dos toques sin perder velocidad y luego
doing justice here. Sorry, obviously I cannot share the image, or can I actually? I mean, this is for Peach. Let me see. Let me show what I can do. Listen, in any case, I don't want to digress too much. And great to see that Barça has managed to score 2 against Bordalas' side. The difficult part is to score 1. We did that thanks to Fermin. Now with 2, with a cushion of 2 goals, in the 75th minute, you have to think that this one is done and dusted, and Barça is on their way to pick up the 3 points and thereby put the distance to what would it be? 10-point difference. In any case, what I wanted to say was that the bad news for the Madridistas is, of course, the fact that MBAPPE picked up an injury. And right now, I don't know if he will be available for the Clásico. I tried to look up before recording this if there was going to be an update on his una sobrecarga este lunes. So on Monday they will find out the degree of the injury that MBAPPE suffered in that game against Betis. So we'll have to wait and see whether the Frenchman will be available on for the Clásico. Militao, of course, picking up that severe injury once again. An absolute massive setback. He'll miss the World Cup. Thankfully, I'm a little bit all over the place, but just want to highlight as well. Thankfully, Lamine Yamal, or luckily, I should say, Lamine Yamal looks like he will be available for Spain in the World Cup, but will miss the remainder of this season. Now, given the way that this match day has transpired, the fact that Betis managed to keep Madrid from picking up the 3 points, and Barça looking like we're on our way to increase the distance between us and the hwites, I'm okay with Lamine not playing for the remainder of the season. Historically, it's never happened. It's never been the case that at these heights, at this stage of the season, a team would recover a distance of such points. It was 9 previously. It would be 10 now. And, that being the case, given the fact as well, like I said, it's a World Cup year. It looks like many of the players of Real Madrid have already checked out. They've lost the belief that they are able to do any damage and make a serious charge at the LaLiga title. I'm okay with Lamine missing this because, my trust and belief is in Rooney Bargi, or Ronnie Bargi. Rooney? No, it's Rooney Bargi. Bardaji Bargi. Come on, I can't be that sloppy. And, I have full trust in the Swedish Iraqi player, quite frankly, to at least show his worth and stick around another season. There's a lot of rumors that he might go to Juventus, Premier League sides, obviously interested as well. And the fact that Barça are cash-strapped and in need of making some adjustments up front and acquire players as well. His name is circling around, but I would be, I'm hopeful that in these last few match days, 5 or 6 match days, he started today, a bit more of a quiet one right now, but I'm hopeful that he will be able to make the needed impact, that he can stick around another season and also get more minutes. So therefore, we would see a Lamine drift into the middle a little bit more. So where was I? So I guess, should I address the controversies? I kind of did already. In terms of play, Madrid not offering a whole lot. It has to be a frustrating thing as well, watching this team play, because what Arbeloa is doing, so many journalists were saying, lo ha dado en la tecla, like he has hit the nail on the head. Arbeloa is getting the best out of this group of players. It is crazy. It is crazy to see the amount of talent that Real Madrid have on their team and how little football that they are producing. It's absolutely insane to me to see just how badly they are playing while having players the likes of your Bellinghams, your Valverdes, your Vinny's, Mbappe's, Gullers. I can't for the life of me understand, Trent, etc. You name it. I can't for the life of me understand why Xabi Alonso wasn't able to get a better production out of them. Obviously, that's something that was heavily debated. But which coach would be able to come into this dressing room and have the respect, have the backing, and have the commitment, that's the word I was looking for, of the players to actually buy into his system? If it's not Xabi Alonso, I don't know if a Jurgen Klopp is going to come in and actually be that guy, given the way that the structure of not just the dressing room, but Real Madrid as an institution, with Papa Flo still being el manda más. I just don't see it, man. I quite frankly, I don't know. I would be very worried if I were a Madridista with the state of affairs over at the White House, because I don't see a clear solution in sight. Now, that being the case, that being said, you have the backing of a Javier Tebas, who before the game against Celta de Vigo, by the way, I did a live stream over on YouTube, so do check out my review of the absolute shit show that was Barça Celta de Vigo, with Del Ferro Grande calling an offside. We knew something was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be another repeat of an offside that wasn't an offside. After 10 minutes, we got the image on our screens that showed that Ferran Torres was onside, but the refereeing committee doubled down and said, no, that is offside. That is offside. I have no problem if the offside is by a sliver of a toenail, if it's millimetrical, but you have to be able to show it. That image showed the contrary. It showed the absolute contrary. And it is now not once, not twice, but 4 or 5 times under the Ferro Grande, where he has just made up an offside, called something against us that is proven to be the wrong call. And, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I made the reference there to Javier Tebas, because for those of you that maybe didn't see Tebas on the day before Barça hosted Celta, he said the following. Let me see if I can share this actually here. I think I can. Here's Tebas. I'll translate. So mind you, these are, he was asked about Arbeloa's comments, what he thought about the fact that Arbeloa said that it's easier for Real Madrid to win the Champions League than La Liga because of the bad refereeing decisions. Here he goes. They need to continue to compete. There's many points still up for grabs. That's the line. That's the key phrase. Barcelona is not going to win all of the remaining games. Definitely not. Ni muchísimo menos.
Pues ahí lo tiene. El presidente.
And he goes, estoy convencido. I am sure about that. I'm sure that Barça will not win all of the remaining games. I mean, what serious president of a league would say something like that? Anyways, so far, so good. 3 points against Celta. 85th minute here in the Alfonso Pérez in el Coliseo against Getafe. Another 3 points. We'll see what La Liga has in store. What referees can invent to snatch points away from us, because it looks like their mission is to make sure that the league is not over and done yet. All right, folks. Listen, let me get to your questions. And the questions have to do this time around about the World Cup. Yeah, let me get to your questions, the questions of the community. And I start with Brandon Powers, who says, Diego, I hope all is well. I really want you to succeed on this path. Thank you so much, Brandon Powers. Thank you all, by the way, for your continued support. Yes, the Churros Patreon community has been cut in half since the departure of what's his name again? I don't know. But I am ever so appreciative, even more so than ever before, of the commitment, the support that you guys are all showing. And I hope you guys are as well enjoying the content that I'm putting out. Make sure that you don't miss out on those pods that I put out. It was twice a double header. Mehedi and Graham Hunter, the great Graham Hunter, was last week. And before that, it was Tim Lee and my reactions against the in reference to the Madrid loss. Oh, damn. So wait, what did I miss? Did Pedri just get injured, for crying out loud? I don't know. It looked like Pedri picked up an injury. He did get applauded off by the Getafe faithful. Let's hope it's nothing serious. But in fact, sorry for this one being a little bit over the place, but I feel like it didn't address the Brahim handball maybe sufficiently. I did so. I alluded to it in the beginning, where the camera angle looked pretty conclusive to what had happened, even though there weren't multiple replays of it being shown on TV. What we have seen on the interwebs, and I can pull it up for y'all's. One of the points of watching the videos is we get to see this here right here. Look at that. There it is. The referee. I mean, he's right there. He's literally right there. What going on? That's his bicep. I don't want to hear about that being his shoulder. I don't want to hear about that being part of the area that is not considered a handball. That is a handball, and that should have been a penalty. So I would hope that Arbeloa has the decency to at least take that into consideration when in the post-match press conference he once again repeatedly looks for ways to call out the refereeing that supposedly have gone against Real Madrid. Here's another one. Hausen committing an aggressive, atrocious, once again, tackle on Anthony. I say once again because Hausen, man, I don't know how you guys feel about him. Me, quite frankly, I don't rate him that much anymore. I warned Kian, I'll never forget it, on Churros. I said, he's good in certain areas, but he makes so many sloppy mistakes, whether it's passing from the back or whether it's overcommitting and to tackles, just basically being overzealous in these kind of tackles. That should have been, if not red, orange. And I don't know if you guys saw the other images after this tackle on Twitter, but he was telling Anthony, like, oh, you crying? Why are you crying? Man, this could have been an injury, a World Cup ending injury. Bing. Anyways, so yeah, I feel like Real Madrid have nothing to complain about. Here we're seeing that handball from Rodriguez, a clear handball. In my opinion, is this a handball that should be awarded with a penalty? I think I'm going to stay consistent in my criteria. The Tchouaméni in the Clásico, I didn't call a penalty offense in that handball, and I'm not going to call this one either. So you guys be the judge, but if you're calling that a handball offense, then I hope that the Tchouaméni one as well in the Clásico, you guys were calling that one a penalty as well. But what else? So yeah, I just wanted to basically make those clear. I think those were the 2-3 most controversial plays in that Betis Real Madrid, where people took the most issue with. Other than that, I think a draw was the fair result. I felt like Betis could have stepped it up a bit as well. I didn't feel like their players were necessarily gunning for the 3 points neither. It kind of felt like both sides were sort of happy with the state of affairs before Bellerin put in that heroic goal, of course, which was surprising because Betis still has something to play for, whereas clearly Real Madrid don't feel similar about their chances in La Liga in keeping chase with Barça. But so that being said, let me get back to your questions. And Brennan Powers, I thank you so much for your words of encouragement. And that's where I was left off. Thank you all for sticking around and continuing to support this podcast. It means the world to me. And I have a little surprise for next week. I don't want to give it away, but hopefully it will set a standard for more good things to come in the future for Churros Patreon. And I'm excited. It'll be a first in this 9 years that we've been running this podcast. And hopefully I can make it happen. It will happen next week. So stay tuned for that. But Brennan Powers, your question. Who do you think wins the World Cup?
Watch the full episode. To find out my picks and for more good vibes and hot takes, subscribe to patreon.com/DSpot and support this channel. Thank you for your time, attention, and backing independent content. Peace out, mi gente.